Hey everybody, so I've been watching some really beautiful YouTube videos and I just wanted to share with you what I learned, so feel free to like, subscribe, and give me a comment and tell me what kind of reality that you want to create. Yeah, doing that really helps me make more videos, helps me reach more people with this message. Thank you for watching. I'm so grateful that you are on a journey of peaceful awakening. So I've really noticed this, that there is like a lot of different realities going on at once. Um, Sometimes people will say like, how could one thing be true for me and not be true for someone else, as if we all have to share the same truth. And I say to them, well, is peanut butter a poison or medicine? Is it nourishment or is it a poison? And you know, one person would say peanut butter will kill me if I eat it, and another person will say peanut butter is a huge staple in my diet. So if there's multiple realities and truths at once, look at it like a TV show, right? Okay, so you turn the TV on. You can turn the frequency of the channel to a different channel, right? And you don't have to create that channel. That channel already exists. Someone else created it. You just need to push a button to tune into the frequency to change the channel. So I think the world is like that a little bit too. So we can actually tune into a different frequency by simply just, attuning ourselves. And there's many techniques that we can do to attune ourselves. One of my favorite is just a meditation. I love guided meditations. I love closing my eyes. I love asking God, like, what are you telling me now? What do I need to do about it? Or putting my hand on my heart and saying, like, what do I need right now? And then the answer comes. And I don't always follow it and trust it, and I'm learning more about how to do that. And you know, sometimes I get so obsessed with trying to do it. I do it all day. I'm like walking my dog and I'm like, oh, what is my heart telling me? Or like constantly. So it's all in balance. But I think, like, when I go and do yoga and move my body, I'm literally like taking care of myself. Like when I go to a Pilates class or a weightlifting class, and I'm like changing the structure of my body. Like my muscles are growing, my bones are staying stronger, I'm becoming more flexible. The main reason I do it is for my mind to stay peaceful, to age gracefully, to help others. But my body shifts physiologically as I exercise, right? And so when you use tools like meditation, you're actually rewiring your brain. And the higher the frequency that we vibrate at, the higher the frequency we will attract from other people around us. So say you're going out for a coffee with your mom and you're having a really good day, you're going to help her have a good day. Things that she's going to reflect and mirror back to you is going to be more positive. So we actually co-regulate with each other. So when we spend time around other people that are regulated, our nervous systems actually sync up and we become more regulated. When we start our day with gratitude, we will see things throughout the day that will reflect back to us that things that we will be grateful for, right? And that's how frequencies work. And so if we're trying to manifest from a place of anxiety and nervous system dysregulation, it's going to be harder for us to trust the opportunities that come, that we are manifesting for our highest good, right? If we're at a lower frequency, we're more likely to attract friends and partners that are at a lower frequency. Of course, we can attract, higher frequencies than us as well. And a lot of it is our beliefs. Do we believe we deserve it? Do we believe it's possible? But a lot of it's the frequency that we vibrate at. When I manifested my dream partner for 1.5 years, and I was doing the things that really raised my frequency every day, like singing, meditation, breathing exercises, that kind of thing, things went really well. But then I started taking my medication during the day. I need my antipsychotics at night to for my schizophrenia, but I take them to help me sleep. And the thing is, like, I tried to take them during the day because I wanted to have a kid eventually with him. And the meds made me so tired during the day that I felt like incredible pain. And that went on for about 6 months. I thought the tiredness would go away, and eventually it didn't, so I switched back to nighttime. But during that time, when my frequency dropped a lot, things started happening in the relationship, trust issues, and conflict and stuff, right? And so eventually that became beyond repair, and we had to break it off. So now, in order for me to attract a new partner, I need to heal from the trauma of what happened with the last one that we co-created together, and come back into a frequency. And so I don't want to jump into another relationship right away because my frequency is still hurt and broken from the breakup. So if I jump into another relationship right away from a state of trauma and conflict and pain, then I might attract the same partners. So I'm taking some time off to raise my frequency and really nourish myself. And see, we carry trauma in our body, and we've carrying intergenerational trauma, not just from our life, but past lives, from ancestral trauma from our ancestors and what they went through, and healing it all, and also like giving their burden back, so not having to always carry other people's trauma out of love, or putting ourselves into a situation. Say our parents were arguing a lot when we were kids, we might attract a partner to us where we argue a lot with them, and we do it out of love so that we can resolve it for the sake of our parents that maybe never resolved it. But we can actually learn that we don't need to recreate these experiences, that we are uniquely us. We have our own unique gifts. We are not our parents, right? And so I think we have this great responsibility and opportunity to raise our frequency and realize that the only purpose of a relationship is to grow spiritually and help each other. Of course, we can get into trauma bonds where two people have shared trauma that come together, and at first it can feel really good because you feel understood. It's like two neurons coming together. I'm sorry, I'm not a scientist, but it's like, it feels like chemistry. It feels like aliveness, excitement, sex is amazing, whatever it is, right? But if both people aren't doing their inner work, whatever that looks like, or expecting to get into a relationship and change somebody, it's like, no, we come into a relationship, we get what we see, and it's very rare people will actually change. Like, if you want to settle for addiction or abuse in the hopes that that person is going to change, that's not going to happen likely, right? If you see them doing their work and making the change, that's a different story. But we often think that we can change somebody, and it can be a very painful thing to go through, realizing that we can't. And same thing, if we're not prepared to do the work ourselves and we match up with somebody in a higher frequency, we can't rely on them to change us. Like, we have to do the work, right? And so, of course, no one has to come into a relationship perfectly. We don't have to be completely enlightened in order to grow. We don't have to have a totally conflict-free relationship. Like, if you watch a movie, you're not going to find any movie out there, unless it's a documentary, that doesn't have a protagonist, an antagonist, a challenge, something to work towards, a mission, right? And then there's the climax, which is, you know, the height of the movie, and you might see the downfall of the hero, and you think it's over, and then they rise back up and win. And most movies have a good ending, and unfortunately all do not. I don't want to watch a movie that doesn't have a happy ending, but you know, sometimes it's true, it just doesn't. And that's the nature of reality too, and that's why we have to take this life very seriously, because we are not guaranteed a good ending. Like, we really need to work towards it, and we need to put the work in. We can't sit around waiting for someone else to come into our lives to fix us. Yeah, people will come into our lives to help, and we can seek them out and we can build those relationships, but we are the ones that we were waiting for, right? So just remembering that. And at this time, like, so many people are becoming enlightened, like way faster and more in like one lifetime compared to years ago. So and then the violence is on the rise too and stuff, and like our food is poison. You know, corporations, the news is trying to scare us and control us. The cigarette companies, alcohol companies, drug companies, pharmaceutical agencies are doing things just to make money. They don't care about us. Some of them are helping, some aren't. You know, they're putting artificial stuff in our food just to make money. Like, everything is built on corruption except for that which is not. And so as a society, we need to choose foods, systems, corporations that are for the highest good. Like, stop buying artificial foods, stop buying foods with white sugar, stop buying packaged processed foods that are full of white flour that are empty calories, where the nutrients are stripped out of it and they have to add nutrients back in, claiming that it's better for you, and it's not. We can't have empty calories. Empty calories are foods that do not nourish us. They make us full. They give us calories, but they don't give us the nutrients that we need, for our brains and bodies to function better. And so we need to like start really taking care of our bodies and fueling ourselves with really, really high density nutrient food, fruits, vegetables. I eat a ton of legumes. I eat a ton of nuts and seeds, almond milk. I, you know, making sure we're getting enough protein and minerals, vitamin C, iron, all of this stuff. So vital. Essential fatty acids, hemp and chia seeds, drinking enough water. Like, what we need to do is become the highest possible versions of ourselves. Like, we are here to learn how to live, right? And so that looks like learning how to eat properly. Okay, that looks like learning how to exercise properly. Okay, like 3 times a week we need exercise for an hour, 3 times a week, if possible. And you know, start small if you need to. And we need to be spending time in nature. That's essential for our well-being. We need to ground. We need to be barefoot on the earth. I touch trees in the winter. I sit at the bus stop and put my hand on the ground. I take my shoes off in the summer barefoot, you know, pulling all of the radiation from cell phones and Wi-Fi and all of it out of us, okay? And connecting us to the earth. And so we need to take some time, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to do something nourishing spiritually, to disconnect from technology. Like, way more than that is needed, but if you want to start there. Set a timer, you know, be like, I'm gonna like move my head like this for 5 minutes in circles, or my arm or my knees. I'm gonna lay on back and like hug my knees into my chest and roll my knees around for 5 minutes, whatever it is, some sort of conscious movement, getting back into the body, realizing that the mind controls the body, right? And then making that mind body connection, where the nervous system begins to calm down and feel safe, where we begin to feel in control, where we can let go of the things that we can't control and surrender to the moment, where we can actually become present, where we can feel our body, we can feel our emotions, instead of running from them, stuffing them deep down with food and technology, we actually get to sit with them and feel them and be like, hey, I'm here. And our bodies need our attention. It's like a baby. A baby needs to be held. The parents that just let their babies cry it out, we know now that's not healthy. And we do that to ourselves all the time. We're like, we'll just stuff that stress down. We need to hold ourselves and be like, hey, it's okay. You are safe, right? And so I think I'm going to leave it at that. But yeah, I wish you all well. Take care.